Welcome to Networking RX, a podcast devoted to helping business professionals like you enhance your networking skills in order to become more proficient giving and receiving quality business referrals and improving the overall quality of your life and the lives of those around you. The Networking RX podcast is a production of AmSpirit Business Connections, an organization whose mission is to empower business success through networking.
A good referral for me is somebody who needs home or auto insurance. This is Frank Agin, founder and president of AmSpirit Business Connections and your host of Networking RX. No, I'm not looking to sell home or auto insurance. I just put that intro in there as an example of an ask that's just not that powerful. And I hear this time and again, certainly within the context of AmSpirit Business Connections, but I also hear it in the context of just generally out there networking. And I'm not picking on property casualty insurance people. I see realtors, I see financial advisors, I see attorneys, I see accountants. I see pretty much every business or profession have what I'll call a wimpy ask, a wimpy 30-second commercial where they're just kind of throwing out there, a good referral for me is somebody who needs home or auto insurance. So today what I want to do in this episode is I want to talk about the elements of a powerful ask. What needs to be in that, call it a commercial, or when you're seeking something from somebody. And I'm going to continue using the property and casualty person just so we can do a comparison. But again, it's really any business or profession that can run afoul of these things and have a wimpy ask. I'm willing to fess up right now, when I first started in the private practice of law, my commercial, my ask was, I'm Frank Agin, a good referral for me is somebody who needs an attorney. It was horrible. And the results represented exactly what the message gave, not a whole lot. And in time, I learned to do a better job of asking for what I was looking for. And that's what I want to talk about. And once I got better at asking for things, I simply got better results. It wasn't magic. It's just the effort was there. The message was there. People heard it clearly. So I want to spend some time talking about it. Again, I'm not picking on property and casualty people. I was an attorney. I was an offender. I think anybody can be an offender. Anybody probably has been an offender. I don't know that too many people just come out of the gate and have just got it nailed right from the start. So with that introduction, here's what I want to say about a powerful ask. Is that there are three elements that need to be in a powerful ask, a powerful commercial. One, there needs to be recognition. You need to educate your network on how to identify opportunities for you so they know when they can refer others to you. So again, going back to what I had said at the very beginning of the program, a good referral for me is someone who needs home or auto insurance. The problem with that is that it's okay with respect to recognition. Somebody needs home or auto insurance, but what it really basically is talking about is, hey, this is what I do. I sell home or auto insurance, and it doesn't necessarily talk about the when it might happen. And so as we're putting together powerful asks, powerful commercials, powerful requests for introductions, we need to be as reasonably specific as possible. Our brains do lots of things, and one of the things it does is it sorts out information. And there's a piece of our brain that's known as the reticular activation system. And what the reticular activation system does, it takes in just gobs and gobs of information. You're driving to work today, or you might be driving right now, and there are billboards and bumper stickers, things. Well, it's nothing playing on the radio because you're listening to this, but there's a lot of information coming into your brain, and your brain is sorting it all out. It's totally sorting it out. It's putting it into one of two buckets, generally speaking. One bucket is noted but not currently relevant, and the other bucket is relevant. Somehow or another, it's relevant. So when you give a commercial that is vague, someone looking for home or auto insurance, it's kind of falling into, I don't know if it gets into either bucket, to be honest. Well, it's going to go into one or the other. So it's going to go into the first bucket. It's going to go into noted, not relevant. And the reason it's not relevant is because there's really not a lot that your brain can attach onto. When we give our brains information, when you give somebody's brain information, it'll go through a kind of a mental Rolodex. Go person, and applying that statement to it. Someone who needs home or auto insurance, it's going to kind of go through that. It's like, well, it's so vague that it doesn't really register. So what you need to do is you need to craft as a part of your commercial to make it powerful, something that helps them recognize an opportunity for you. So let me give you an example. If you know someone with a teen driver, whether or not they're already driving or just got their temp, this could be a good opportunity for me. Okay, stop and think about that. If you know someone who's a teen driver, all of a sudden somebody's brain's kind of going through their mental Rolodex. Okay, who do I know who's got teen drivers? Okay, they don't have kids, they don't have drivers, they're too old to drive. Oh, here, I've got some friends, they've got a teen driver, just got their temps, they were talking about it, I saw it on Facebook. So just with that little piece, you've helped them recognize a good opportunity for you. You've helped them recognize. And so now they've got in their mind, oh, it's Bob and Martha. They've got twins who are turning 15 and a half. Every state's different, or 16 or whatever. They've just got their temps, or they just got their license. And all of a sudden you're kind of seized in on Bob and Martha because the property casualty person has given you the information that allows you to sort out all the people you know and put into context the people who have teen drivers or soon to be teen drivers. So that's the first element of a powerful commercial, is to give them something to recognize. So here we are. They've got something to recognize. They've got Bob and Martha on their mind. Now that's the first step. And that right there is immensely better than a good referral for me is someone who needs home or auto insurance. It's better because you've empowered these people with your powerful ask. You've empowered these people, the people you're talking to kind of sort through their mental Rolodex, and they've actually come up with somebody. Maybe it's multiple people, but you've helped them sort out the information in their head. And that's a great first step. But it's not the total picture of a powerful ask or a powerful 30-second commercial or a powerful request. The second piece that you need to have for that powerful request is you need to empower them to engage others in conversation. So following my example, you've given this first step to it. If you know someone with a teen driver, whether or not they're already driving or just got their temps, this could be a good opportunity for me. You've gotten the person you're talking to think about it, and they've got Bob and Martha on their mind. Okay, Bob and Martha. Yeah, that's the person I could refer to you, Bob or Martha. Now what you need to do is to help this person empower. You need to help them kind of take it the next step. You need to empower the person who potentially is going to give you this referral. You need to empower them to engage Bob and Martha in conversation. And what I mean by that, you need to empower this individual with ideas and insights as to how they can generally converse with Bob and Martha about what you have to offer, about what you can do for teen drivers. And so what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to say something like this, or the property casualty person is going to want to say something like this. You need to put this in terms of, in context of your own profession. But what you would say is following on to, hey, this could be a good referral for me. As you may know, insurance premiums for families with young drivers tend to substantially increase. So if you know of such a family, aka Bob and Martha, work into a conversation a question akin to, how much has having teen drivers impacted your insurance premiums? Chances are they won't have a happy response. So that's the second piece to this powerful ask. You're basically giving them some conversation. You're arming them with some conversation they can have with their potential referral, aka Bob and Martha. Go to Bob and Martha and just work into the conversation. Casually work it in as it fits at some point or another. How much has having teen drivers impacted your insurance premiums? They're going to have an answer. They're going to have an answer of some sort. It's probably not going to be a good answer, but that's the second piece where you've basically helped them recognize if you know of someone with a teen driver, whether or not they're already driving or just got their temps, this could be a good opportunity for me. They've recognized, okay, Bob and Martha, and then you kind of lead them along a little more. As you may know, this is what you're saying to this person. As you may know, insurance premiums for families with youthful drivers tend to substantially increase. So if you know of such a family, again, Bob and Martha, work into a conversation, a question akin to how much has having a teen driver impacted your insurance premiums? Chances are they won't have a happy response. Essentially, you float that out to them. So that's the second step. The first thing, get them to recognize. Second step, empower them with language that they can engage the referral target in conversation. How much has having teen drivers impacted your insurance? It's just something you float out to people. It's not a yes or no answer. It's just something that they can kind of respond to. So that's the second step. The third step, and again, we've got two steps here. The first was more powerful than a good referral for me as someone who needs home or auto insurance. So the first piece of this, getting them to recognize, that's better. With this second piece, it becomes even more powerful. Now the third part of it is the connection piece. And what this involves is teaching your referral partner how to refer you to the person who can benefit from what you have to offer. Again, in this situation, Bob and Martha. You've basically said something so they recognize the opportunity. You've gave them language that empowers them to engage Bob and Martha in conversation. Now you need to help your referral partner make that final connection. Make that final connection to you. In this case, the property casualty person. So what you might say as part of your commercial, once they're done scoffing or rolling their eyes, tell them that you recently had coffee with an insurance agent who shared that some insurance carriers have special programs to help take the sting out of having teen drivers. From there, suggest that they consult their agent, or even better, let them know I'd be happy to call them and share information on these programs. Again, that final step is the connecting piece, right? The first step, recognition, it's in their mind, Bob and Martha. Second step is the engagement piece where you're empowering them to have this conversation, to ask this question, to bring up in conversation, what has having teen drivers done to your insurance premiums? And then the third piece, knowing what the answer likely is. Nobody's insurance is better by having teen drivers. It's kind of a fact of life. But once you've brought up into the conversation the cost associated with having teen drivers, then you can kind of make that connection, saying, listen, you don't seem too happy about having teen drivers. You should talk to your agent, or better yet, I could have somebody call you, meaning you, the insurance agent. Now, again, there are three pieces to this. There's the recognition piece, educating your network on how to identify opportunities for you so they know when they can refer you. The second piece is the engaging piece. Empower your network with ideas and insights as to how they can generally converse with others about what you have to offer. And then the third piece is teach your network how to refer you to the person who can benefit from what you have to offer. 3 simple steps to crafting a powerful ask, a powerful 30-second commercial, a powerful request. So when we go through the whole thing, I started out with a good referral for me is someone who needs home or auto insurance. What we came up with is if you know of someone with a teen driver, whether or not they're already driving or just got their temps, this could be a good opportunity for me. As you may know, insurance premiums for families with youthful drivers tend to substantially increase. So if you know of such a family, work into a conversation a question akin to, how much has having a teen driver impacted your insurance premiums? Chances are they won't have a happy response. Once they're done scoffing or rolling their eyes, tell them that you recently had coffee with an insurance agent who shared that some insurance carriers have special programs to take the sting out of having teen drivers. From there, suggest that they consult their agent, or even better, let them know I'd be happy to call them and share information on these programs. Now, this simple 3-step thing is not limited to just property casualty insurance agents. It can also apply to attorneys, accountants. It literally applies to anybody looking to ask for something. So with that, this puts the pressure on me, because at the end of most of my podcasts, or somewhere in my podcasts, I talk about our franchise opportunity. So using the lessons from this particular podcast, here's my 30-second ask. If you know of an entrepreneur, business owner, or professional that seems to enjoy networking, appears well connected, and or is somewhat involved with a chamber or professional networking organization, they would be a good person for me to meet. As you know, being networked is vital to success, and receiving referrals is the most effective means of generating business. So if you know such a person, such a business professional, work into a conversation this rhetorical question. If you had a choice, would you rather be a renter or the person who owns the building? Now, they'll probably chuckle at that question and indicate somehow they would obviously like to be the owner of the building rather than the person who pays the owner. When they do, indicate that you're familiar with the franchise opportunity through AmSpirit Business Connections, where they're not just paying to be part of a professional network, but rather they're instrumental in building professional networking groups and profiting from them. From there, suggest that they contact me using the email we provide at the end of the podcast or within the show notes, or better yet, email me and them at the same time, connecting us. I'd appreciate that.
Thanks for joining us on the Networking RX podcast. Please put what you've learned into action today and let us know if you have questions, comments, or ideas for future topics. You can email them to us at podcast@amspirit.com. That's AmSpirit.com. Finally, so you never miss an episode, be sure to subscribe to the Networking RX podcast through iTunes, Overcast, or however you receive your podcasts. Now get out and network with someone.
The Networking RX podcast is the copyright production of AmSpirit Business Connections. All rights reserved.